All right, thank you for spending some time with Tincanland Music Blog. Introduce yourself if you would.
I'm Mark Whitfield, editor of americana-uk website.
Okay, and we're in Liverpool tonight for, we're winding down Americana 10.
Yeah.
You want to tell us what that's about?
Americana 10 is just basically a celebration of the fact that the website's been in existence for 10 years. So we had an event about 9 years ago, which was Americana 1, to celebrate 1 year of the website, and this is just basically commemorating the fact that it's been around for a decade.
Okay, and it's a combination of American and local acts, or UK acts?
Yeah, it's like some of the, what we think, I guess, are the biggest names in Americana in terms of US acts, like Richmond Fontaine, Richard Butler, Mark Whitfield, and then also representing the UK side of that in terms of bands like Redlands, Palomino Company, and Danny and the Champs.
Right, and what's the reception been? I mean, when I bought my ticket, it was like they said 250.
Yeah, it's
max, which is a bit small, you would think, for those kind of names.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we've been really pleased anyway that it's sold out, because there's been quite a few music festivals this year that have been cancelled due to the recession and all kinds of things. So we weren't really sure even at 250 tickets whether we were going to make it, but it's like on the day we sold out.
So how healthy is that genre in the UK at this time?
I mean, I think it's as healthy as it's ever been. It's always going to be a bit of a niche genre because it's kind of not mainstream enough to appeal to that mainstream country audience, and it's a bit too twangy for some of the indie audience. So there is a niche, if you like, that enjoys the music, but it's been around for quite a while now, and a lot of the people have stuck around and kept supporting the music. And really, when we did this event 10 years ago, it was a similar sort of crowd, so it has had some sustenance, if you like, as a genre that's kept going.
And now, 10 years ago when you did it, was the music as broad as it is now?
No, I mean, to be honest, it seems to have gone a lot more broad in terms of the fact that 10 years ago the country element was like right to the foreground, and now it's taken a bit of a back seat that people are doing things with the genre that they didn't do 10 years ago in terms of I think the lyrics have certainly got more impressive, but then also the type of music has become more innovative in terms of some of the instruments used, some of the guitar work. It's not really, some of it sounds quite country still, but a lot of it doesn't sound anything to do with the country genre.
Is that good?
It's good because it's changed all the time, I suppose, and it will go back at some point, I imagine, and like everything, go full circle, but it's good that it hasn't stayed static. It's actually changed over the years and kept the audience that enjoyed it interested. Mm-hmm.
There was a piece in The Guardian about a week or so ago, Alexis Petrovich, about why mainstream country acts don't do too well in America, or American ones do well here. Does the same apply with Americana?
I mean, it does to a certain extent, but in a way, Americana doesn't do that well. In America, it's always been kind of like the outskirts of country music, which is why it was called alternative country music. I think with mainstream country music in the UK, there's something that makes people cringe that maybe doesn't in America, which is the reason that people don't necessarily buy into it in the same way they do the States. But mainstream country music is big in America. Americana, in terms of the type of bands we're having today, are still in America a pretty niche audience, and to be honest, have more of an appeal to an indie audience than a country audience.
Mm-hmm. Like Steve Earle will sell, obviously.
Yeah, you get the figureheads that have been there for years and do sell, people that we can't afford to put on in this sort of event. But in terms of people like Richmond Fontaine, they've got a really strong following, great press in this country, and probably better press in this country than in the States, to be honest. But you won't find that kind of press in country music people. It'll be in things like Enemy, The Guardian, and actual, that kind of appealing to the sort of left field mainstream, if you like.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to me, I think one of the measuring sticks is going to be in January when Tom Russell's here.
Yeah, absolutely.
How is that going to sell? Do you think?
It's interesting because, well, I'm not sure, because I've been promoting for a while now. I haven't promoted other than this event properly for a couple of years, but one of the reasons we stopped promoting is when the recession hit in 2008, certainly noticed a massive drop in numbers, and it's difficult to tell now what kind of audience you're going to get. Like somebody like Jason Ringenberg, Jason the Scorchers, 3 years ago, you could fill a venue of 200 no problem, and now you struggle filling a venue of 50. But I don't think it's anything to do with the music, I think it's to do with the fact that people haven't got money in their pockets at the moment.
Mm. Last question, and you allude to it in the program as well, about how it's Americana, sort of that men of a certain age.
Yeah.
you know, playing with their record collections and stuff like that. Obviously, the middle-aged men are getting older and older and older,
Yeah.
which presents a bit of a problem for the longevity of Americana.
It
Or
does.
does it?
I mean, I'm not sure because I mean, it was interesting by the same token reading in the Guardian today that Waitrose or John Lewis or something have got the Smiths as their new advertising
Yes.
campaign, and like that age group they said they're reaching for was 45 to 55-year-old men. But an awful lot of like Smiths fans that are younger, and I think with Americana it's similar that it is kind of a genre that appeals to a certain kind of man of a certain age. But then having said that, some of the bands coming through are much younger, there's more female presence in them, and this is one of the ways it's changed since 10 years ago, so it does feel like there is perhaps more diversity in it as it is breaking out.
Is that why it's a lot of it seems to be going a little bit more up-tempo?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, maybe not some of the bands here tonight because we've got Mark Whitfield next, and one thing you can't try Mark Whitfield is up-tempo
No.
or cheerful or like anything. But yeah, I mean, perhaps it's one of those things, as I say, that it does seem to change an awful lot over time, and it probably will change again.
So there'll be an Americana 20, you think?
Possibly. Like, it depends how I feel at the end of the night.
All right, well, thank you very much for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.